What up, QC crew? King Day is in the mother building.
Run it up for sure. Your bitch gon' not know where it's up. Run that shit, we at all the show. Say that shit for your camera.
Warning. Everything said in this video and on this platform is strictly my opinion and all alleged. Here, we speak about hot topics on YouTube and other social media platforms for entertainment and conversational purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised.
What it do, it is your homie King Day here in King's Corner, and I am back with another reaction video for you. So, as y'all know, everyone has their own little series going on TikTok, and I'm like, look, I'm here for it. So, my wife sent me this one, and I was like, according to the title, she got a couple parts up. I am going to wait and give my genuine reaction to whatever she's talking about, whatever she decides to spill on King's Corner. Now, I apologize in advance if this topic is triggering or uninteresting, if she's a slow storyteller, if she's a fast storyteller, and all that. Because y'all be in the comments like, oh, she talking slow. Oh, she ain't talking fast enough. Oh, her story ain't adding up. Oh, she just need to shut up. Oh, I couldn't last 2 minutes. Oh, I couldn't last 30 seconds. So, I apologize, y'all. You know, everybody ain't good storytellers. Everybody don't know how to keep the attention of people. But we definitely going to check out this story time and see what she's talking about. Now, the title of her series is How My Brother Went Crazy and Unalived Our Mom. Now, she only has a couple parts up as of now. So, of course, we're going to react to what she has up. And as she uploads them, I will react. All right. So I ain't gonna hold you. I never do. If you with me like I with you, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share. We're gonna get straight into this video. Let's get it. Let go.
Okay, this is part 1 of how my brother went crazy and killed our mom. First episode that my brother had was my mom got a call from my auntie where she stated that my brother was down at her house acting a little weird and crazy, and he was saying things that she's never heard him say before, and he is basically saying that he don't want to be alive anymore, and he's done with life, and she needed to come down there. So me and my mom went down to my aunt's house, and when we got down there, we was trying to figure out what was going on with my brother, but they had already called the police and the ambulance for him, which they was trying to get the ambulance to take him into like the mental hospital to see what's going on.
Right.
And my brother is just wailing out. He's just saying all type of things, and then I'm thinking that his intentions was to get the police to shoot him because he kept reaching and he kept being very aggressive with the police officers, and the police officers were saying they didn't want to hurt him. Right. They here to help him, and
he wanted them.
They was trying to do their best to, you know, not take and be so aggressive with him because they know that something was wrong with him mentally. So they end up taking him into the hospital, and then what they did was end up releasing him the next day because they just said that they felt like he was high and he just was coming off of a drug, so they released him. And then
did they test him for
another incident? Like I think it was like a few weeks later. My mom called me and was like, "Get over here ASAP." She was like, "I don't know what's going on with your brother. He has his baby mama in the car and he's driving crazy." So I get over there, and when I get over there, my mom lives on the main. She lived on the main street, and it was so many people outside. It was police there everywhere, and my family was there. We trying to see what's going on, and I get there. He had his baby mama in the car, and he was driving crazy with her in the car, talking about he's going to kill everyone in the car and all these things. And then some way my brother got in the car because they found out he had a knife. So my other brother ended up getting in the car. I don't know how he hopped in the car because I wasn't there. I had just got there. When I got there, they said he was in the car, and it was scared because they thought he was going to stab my other brother in the car. So my other brother was trying to fight to get the knife from him, and some way they followed out, and he ended up getting a knife, and my brother the car ended up running into my mama's yard and stopped, and the police officers ended up snatching him out the car, and it's blood everywhere. And both of my brothers ended up getting stabbed. So he didn't mean to stab my other brother, but they was fighting for the knife. So when they was fighting for the knife, it sliced my brother that got in the car trying to take the knife from him. So the police end up getting him, taking him in, and trying to get him help. They end up putting him into the hospital port where, you know, the mental people was at. And when we went in that car, because his baby mama was so scared because his daughter was in the car as well. So she was so scared, she didn't know what to do. And we get in the car to help her like clean it out. It's puddles of blood. So he done stabbed himself up and hurt himself, and there's puddles of blood in the car. So we had to like take the mat, and when we took the mat, the blood was so much blood, it was like leaking out like water. You know how you leave your windows down and water gets in your car? That's how much it was. So then we're thinking that they're gonna keep him, but we get some phone call the next day for us to come pick him up. He needed a ride, so we go and pick him up, and we like, what the hell? How did he even get out the next day? So like they say, he's on a drug and he's coming off of his drug. So we like, okay, all right, it's second incident, but okay.
What drug is
it? So then it's just occurring back to back. So then it's another incident. My mama calls me. She stayed calling me because she was going through hell with him, because he had lived with her. Him and his baby mama was living with her in her basement, and they were staying in her basement for a long time. They was in her basement for like 4 years in her basement, and he went crazy out of nowhere. So it's like
I'm like, what happened to the sound?
Completely out of nowhere.
Okay.
So this next incident, my mom calls me and was like, I don't know what's going on with your brother. He's looking out the windows thinking someone's after him. He keeps saying they coming. He keeps looking out the window saying they're coming to hurt him. And she said he hasn't took a bath in days. He stinks. He's walking around with no underwear on, no socks, just shorts on, and he's walking around outside, and I'm thinking that he's trying to hurt himself. Can you come over here?
Was he on a drug?
I was in the mix of, my mama was in the mix of going to a wedding. I was going to a baby shower, and my brother was going on a date with his daughter. So we all was dressed up, like we all was. So which was weird. We all three going somewhere and you doing all this. So we get over there. We're trying to see what's going on. Like, bro, what's going on? What's wrong? Like, what can we do to help you? And he's keeps looking sideways, because my mama, where she lives at, it's like a main highway street. And it's like a main street where it's just traffic all through there. So he's looking like he wants to hop in the street, and we like get away from the street, come on over here.
So y'all outside,
because we're getting scared, because we like, wait a minute, why you keep going towards the street? Why you not talking to us in the yard? Like, why you right there? So come on over here. So we get over there, we get him, and then some way we end up getting him in the car, because we want to take him down to the hospital so he can get help, because we know something's wrong. So we end up getting him in the car. We get him in the car, and we're trying to go get him help. And so we're talking to him. He keeps looking around all crazy and looking. His eyes is all bucking. I could have swore his eyes was black. Like, he didn't look like himself. He wasn't even there. He was someone else. And we was like, you want some food? You want a cigarette? He wanted a cigarette. He smoked them cigarettes. When I tell you, my mama just had bought that pack of cigarettes. He damn near smoked the whole pack of cigarettes. She bought him food. He didn't even eat the food. We ended up taking him to the hospital. We went in there. We had to damn near beg him to get into the hospital. We like had to prep talk him to get into the hospital. We finally get him in the hospital. And when we get him in there, he's like looking at us like we like just let him go like a sad puppy we just let off in the street. And then so next thing you know, that he's fighting the people and we like quit resisting, and he gives something to my brother, and we like, what is this? And we looked, and it was like a little piece. And I'm guessing that it was drugs, because previously, you know, my brother's in the streets. He did his own thing or whatever. Before he even went, you know, start going a little crazy. He was doughboy on top, street dude. Like, you know, he's looking out for me. This is my brother who I call, who's gonna always look out for me, giving me the latest Jordans, giving me money, looking out if I need anything, my kids, everything. He's him. Like, he's in the streets, he's making money. And for him to give him a piece, like, it's a personal piece. So we looking like, is he on drugs? Is he taking these things? Is this what he doing? And so we like confused, because we don't know. Like we said previously, we kind of think that he tested his own shit, but we didn't know.
Do. They try to act like they don't, but they do.
When he gave him that, I was like, that's a personal. And I told my mom, I said, Mama, that's a personal. That's his, what he was using personally. That was for his use. And she was like, you think so? Yes, Mama, it is. It got to. Even my other brother, he was like, yeah, Mama, I think so too. So she was like, I'm going to ask him when I talk to him, are you on drugs, and was these the drugs for you? And I'm going to ask him. And it's about to cut off on me. Come back for part 2 of how my brother went crazy and killed our mom. Okay? Thank you.
How y'all feeling about it so far? What y'all think about it? She's not dragging. I feel like she got straight into the story. I'm ready for part 2. Taking a look at the comments, people are saying schizophrenia, mental health, schizophrenia. It's not drugs. He's having a manic episode. Somebody say, here come all the TikTok doctors. Y'all know schizophrenia isn't the only diagnosis that they can come up with, right? So what y'all think? I don't be trying to be the doctor. I don't be diagnosing people with stuff. Like, when people come ask me something about something, I'll be like, baby, I wouldn't say Google it. I wouldn't say do nothing but go to a doctor, because personally, we just don't know. But what does it sound like to y'all? According to her story, I would have gotten he's doing drugs. So far, according to the comments, people think he's schizophrenic. I don't know. Let's get into part 2.
This is part 2 of how my brother went crazy and killed our mom. So he had the little piece, which we knew that was like a personal piece. The personal piece was, you know, a usage of him, you know, because, you know, my brother was like a doughboy. Like, he was out in the streets, like, whatever I needed, if I needed anything, like Jordans, clothes, shoes, anything for my kids, I can look to him to help me. That was that brother. And then for him to just flip script like that was mind-blowing. And we knew what you was used to, you know, working what with out here in the street. So we know what is and what ain't. And I told my mama, I thought that he was using his own products, in which I believe that he was, because he had that little piece. And I told my mama that was a personal thing. You know, even my other brother, he said the same thing. So she was like, she was going to ask him when he got out or whatever. So that was that. She ended up asking him when he got out, because they ended up releasing him. Which they said he was coming off of a drug, like the other times. So we ended up going to pick him up. He went back over to my mama's house. She ended up asking him, and when she asked him, he said that he went on drugs or whatever, which we know that was a lie. Come on now. So then we end up getting another incident happened. So my mama called me. This one's the big one. Okay. So this one right here, she called me. She's crying, historical, on the phone. Now she get over here. Come over here. Your brother, and he just set himself on fire. And I'm like, what? So I get over there. Not to me. My mama lived on a main street. Remember that? Okay. And it was so much traffic on that street. So
He set
I
himself
get on her street. I
fire.
can't even get on to where she live at because it's blocked, like the traffic's bad. So I have to park my car and then walk down. So I walk down. It's police, ambulance, fire truck, everything over there. I'm like, what the fuck? So it's people getting out their cars looking. They wondering what's going on. I walk up over there. My brother's in the yard. And he got a cover over him. And I'm like, bro, what's going on? What's wrong? And next thing I know, he drops the cover. And when he drops the cover,
He naked.
his skin was peeling off.
Oh.
His skin was literally peeling off. Like,
Oh.
peeling. It was pink.
Had
And I'm
chills.
like, what the fuck? So come to find out, he went in the backyard and got some, so he goes in the backyard and gets my mama's lighter fluid, which was in the back, and sprays himself with the lighter fluid and sets himself on fire.
Is this again, or is this what happened?
Baby mama said that he had a knife too, so I guess he was planning on killing himself. So he either was gonna kill himself with a knife, or he was gonna set himself on fire, and he was gonna run in the street and let like a semi hit him. So she said she seen him on flames, and she took a cover and she wrapped, she stopped, dropping, roll with him so the flames can go out. And he was on fire from the waist down. So he didn't have any skin. So the ambulance is trying to get him to, get on the stretcher. When I tell you,
He wouldn't.
he walked to the ambulance truck. So we all shocked, like, what the fuck? So he must be in shock. So that's what that was. He was in shock. And he walked to the ambulance truck himself. So then they end up putting him on the stretcher when he walked to the ambulance truck. So they end up taking him to the hospital. So we all scared. We don't know what's going on. They rushed him into the hospital, did his little surgery on him because he's got 3rd-degree burn. Like, they didn't put him in the burn unit. So all our family's up there in the waiting room waiting to see what's going on. We upset. We don't know. My nerves is bad. My mama's nerves bad.
My nerves bad. Shit.
So then come to find out he's going to be okay. So they end up letting us go in the room to see him. When I tell you we went in this room to see him, it was just like a black room. Like, his eyes was black. Like I mentioned the first part. It didn't even seem like that was my brother. My brother was gone. It wasn't even him no more. Like, I felt like I lost him. Like, it wasn't him in that room. Like, we just felt like I was in a room with a demon. And I didn't like that bad energy in there, that spirit. So I made sure he was okay. And I had to get out of that room because, like, it wasn't it. So then he stayed in the hospital. They had to keep him in the hospital for a while. So I was going back and forth to the hospital, make sure that he was straight, giving him food, anything he needed. My mama, she didn't leave. She was 10 toes down. Like, she stayed with her son. Like, she wasn't letting up. She wasn't leaving.
Like mamas
They
do.
had the priest come there, the priest that be at the hospital and stuff. They had preachers coming there, people praying for him, everything, trying to make sure that he's straight. So my mama didn't leave. Like, she was there from sun up to sundown. Like, she even got sick. My mama was diabetic and she had thyroid. So she got to the point where she was getting sick because she was there all night. Girl, go home. Mama, go home. He's going to be fine. That's what I had to tell her. Like, he got nurses here. It's okay. But she didn't want to leave her son. So they had to do like a surgery on him. They did like that surgery that they never did before on him, on anybody. It was like a skin graft surgery, and they put skin on him. And when I tell you, these doctors did they big one on that, because that skin looked like that was his skin that he grew. And it looked good, but you had to take care of it. So he ended up he was in the hospital for 3 to 4 weeks. He had to go through therapy again to learn how to use his legs, his private, everything. Like, he burnt all that. Like, he had to learn again. Like, he fucked his bones up, all that. So my mama was taking him to therapy, giving him his medicine, bandages, everything. Like, she was his nurse. Like, she was doing her big one for her child. And she didn't let up. And she was like, I don't know, y'all gotta help me because this is hard. Right. And I understand that it was hard, but like, mama, you have to take a break for yourself. That's what I kept telling her. She had got sick or whatever, and that was that. So then she ended up telling his baby mama, you got to go, because she was staying at remember I told you that they was
In the
her
basement.
basement staying
Right,
for like
right.
4 years. She told her she had to go, so she ended up having to leave because baby girl, you getting pregnant down here and everything. She ended up getting pregnant. So
By somebody
girl, it
else?
was too much. Like, you got to go.
She got pregnant
So
by somebody else, or
she ended up telling her she had to
your
go, so it
brother?
was just my mama and my brother there. So my mom was taking care of him or whatever, and we was thinking that he was getting better because shit was getting better. Like, he was doing good. Like, he was like in the room where he was doing good again. Like, he was mingling with his nieces and nephews again, having, talking,
Just
saying his
overall improvement.
prayers, going to his therapy. He ended up, going to see a therapist or whatever, and they doing the Zoom stuff because this was during COVID too. So they end up doing the Zoom therapy and stuff for him and stuff too. So we thinking everything's fine and everything's good. So then,
It was
Mom
during
was
what
taking
part of
care of
traffic
him. I'm making
of COVID? Because I know at one point it was like, wasn't nobody outside unless you are an essential worker. And then she said it was traffic, but she had to get out the car and walk when he first set himself on fire. So, during COVID, was it the peak? Was it the beginning? Was it the end? What part of COVID did this happen?
sure that everything's straight. And then it's like everything was good. Then it's like I got a phone call from I got a phone call from work and she was like, I don't know what's going on with your brother, and I don't know what's going on with your brother. He's mad that I made this post on Facebook. All she did was she reshared this post where it was like, if you don't like it, you can hit the road jack, and it was like a Tweety Bird, and it was just like a little quote, and she just reposted it. So I guess he thought that was towards her, and which wasn't. She said it wasn't. She just reposted it, and he got mad. And he got mad that she reposted that, and he was walking around with an attitude. So she was like, I can't do this by myself. Y'all gonna help me with him because I can't take this. He's walking around not taking showers again, and he's not eating. So I guess he was going back downhill. And then see, he was getting to the point where when we came over there, like, he stopped coming out the room. He was sitting in the room in the dark because it got to the point where my mama was like, she had told him, like, share your story on Facebook, because my brother never had a Facebook or social media or anything. He never had none of that. So my mom was like, well, maybe your story will help somebody else out, because we thought he was getting better. So she was like, go on Facebook and, like, tell your story. So, like, he would go on Facebook Live, and he was just, like, be in a dork talking. And he would be in that dark just talking, saying all kind of stuff on these lives, like, that didn't even make sense. And then, like, we wasn't really paying attention to him like that, but we was. But I feel like if we was paying more attention, come back for part 3 of how my brother went crazy and killed my mom, part 3.
Coming to think of it, maybe she meant it was a lot of traffic because of the fire trucks and the police and everybody. That's probably what created a lot of chaos around her mom's house. I'm still thinking about the last comment that I made where I said, like, what part of COVID, because she said it was traffic. But why did the hospital keep releasing him, like, over and over again? It doesn't seem like this story is spread out throughout years or anything. And it's just like, we have this repeat behavior. Why do they keep releasing this man? Why do they keep letting this man out? Somebody let me know, because I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. What is the reason for them just keep on releasing him? What's that about? Y'all let me know. Let's go ahead and get into part 3.
This is part 3 of how my brother went crazy and killed our mom. So He was in that room, and he was just in that room, and the door going live, and I just felt like it was just bad vibes after a while. He went downhill. He wasn't on his spiritual journey no more. He was just like on some demonic shit after a while. Like, you can feel the bad vibes, especially when you're a spiritual person. You can feel that bad energy, and it was all in that room, like right there. It got to the point where the kids didn't go in that room no more. I didn't go in that room and check on them no more because I just felt the bad vibes. I felt it. Especially, I'm spiritual, and I felt it. So he stayed in that room in the dark. He wasn't even taking baths no more. He was barely eating, all that. So then it was like he was making them videos, and he was like, how can a mother do this to their child or whatever? And then it's like my mama was so upset. She was so scared, really, of him. She was sleeping with her doors locked, knife underneath her pillow. And I got to the point, I'm like, Mama, why are you in this house with him with your doors locked and a knife underneath your pillow? She was like, I don't care. That's my son. I'm not turning my back on my son. Okay. I was like, I understand it, Mama, but it's your safety that you got to worry about. Because if you in your own house, sleeping with your door locked, your bedroom door locked, and a knife underneath your pillow, you're scared of him. You're scared that he's going to do something to you.
Not to try to start pausing. Y'all know how I get. But if you are in the room and your doors is locked, you got a knife under your pillow. If your knife is under your pillow, it's under there because you have intention on using it at some point. Not that you really want to, but it's probably going to come down at a point of time where you have to use it. And if you're at a point to where you're like, I'm going to put this knife underneath my pillow because one day, the way I'm feeling, I'm going to have to use it. I feel like there's just a better solution for the whole situation. You know? Because who wants to be put in that position where their son, the man they gave birth to, is kicking down their door because it's locked, so he can't twist the knob and open it. And if he wants to get in there for whatever the reason is, he gonna do whatever he got to do to get in there. You done trapped yourself in the room, right? Now, I don't know if it's upstairs, downstairs, if she can climb out of a window or anything like that. But hypothetically speaking, you done trapped yourself in this room. He's kicking the door down. You have the knife in your hand. It's going to get to a point where you have to use that knife because it's either you or him. And you may have the knife just to be using it to try to scare him off or get back, something like that. But if he's already shown that he's suicidal, he done set himself on fire. Okay. Everybody knows. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that you set yourself on fire or somebody set you on fire. That's not a fast death. That's not a quick death. You gonna feel that. Even if it's for a couple of seconds, your body might go into shock and then you may not feel anything. You may go numb or whatever the case may be. But even for a couple of seconds, you gonna feel that burn before you die. So you having a knife under your pillow, it's probably not even going to make him jump. So I don't know. I'm not trying to say, she should have turned her back on her son or anything like that. But I think it should have been further research done as to what they can do for him. Pulling up to a hospital, if it's not a mental hospital or, it's only so much they gonna do or can do. And they gonna send him on his way. We got people in here that need stitches. We got people in here who need transplants. We got people in here, for medical purposes. He has a mental issue. And when she say hospital, I don't know if she's talking about a medical hospital or a mental hospital, but I'm just taking hospital, as a medical hospital. But instead of having gatherings about y'all need to help me with him, I think everybody should have, maybe came together, and maybe they do. And maybe she expressed this later on. I'm not trying to judge, but I'm just saying Maybe everybody should have tried to come together with some form of money. See who has insurance. If they can carry a sibling on the insurance, see if they can get him into a mental hospital where he can stay, where, you know, they can figure out what his problem is. And that right there could have been the best help she could have provided her son with. And that's not turning your back. You know what I'm saying? Because I can only imagine you in your house and you scared of somebody you gave birth to where you're locking your doors and you got a weapon under your pillow. It's crazy.
You need to put him in a home, like a mental home, like something that can help him, because you can't help him only so much.
I spoke a little
She didn't
too
want to do
soon.
it. That was her firstborn. She didn't want to turn her back on him. That was
That's
that.
not turning
You
your
can
back,
only say
mama.
so much to your mama for them to listen to her.
Right,
okay.
right. But that's not turning your back, mama.
Go back to him doing them lives, and he's saying, how can a mother do this to their child? He was so resentful to my mama with his childhood. He blamed everything that happened bad to him in his adult life on my mama. He used to be so nasty to my mama. When they got into it, calling her bitches, whores, sluts. She's the reason why he ain't got his daddy in his life. Like, he was so resentful of him not having his daddy in his life and put it on my mama. He used to, like, pick a difference of his relationships with his siblings. Like, he wasn't, like, resentful towards me, like, because I was a little sister. But, like, my other brother, like, he would be resentful toward him, like, because me and my other brother, we had shared the same daddy, but him, he didn't have the same daddy as us. Like, he had different daddies than us. And, like, he would, like treat outsiders more better than he did his own brother. Like, even his cousins, he would treat them like brothers than he did his own brother. Which, I'm not saying they didn't have a good relationship, but I felt like you wasn't more brotherly to your brother because you didn't have the same daddy as him. And my daddy was in our life. He tried to be in his life, but he was so resentful towards him. He couldn't. You can only do so much when a person don't want you around, and you ain't gonna force it. So that's what my daddy did. But, you know, you can't get mad at us because your daddy wasn't around, but that's just how he was. So let's go back to the day that, you know, my mama had found that post. Post that post. So the next day, I had a phone call from my mama and I missed it. So I called her back and she didn't answer. So I was running late. So I was getting the kids ready because they was going to go over her house because it's COVID. So school and daycare was closed and my mom was out of work because of COVID. So I'm getting them ready. I'm running late. Usually she'll call me and be like, oh, Nisha, y'all still coming? What y'all running behind? But she didn't call me. So which was weird because she always called me.
Always.
So I got them ready. I'm pulling up over her house. I'm getting them to hop out the car because I'm about to pull off. I'm about to ski out of there because I'm late for work. Usually that's what I do when I'm running late. I have them hop out the car. I know she gonna open the door, so I'm about to ready pull off the driveway.
Right.
So when I'm about to pull off, she's not answering the door. So I'm like, are y'all knocking? They was like, yeah, we knocking. So I had to get out the car. I started knocking on the door and calling her. She ain't answering. So I knocking on her window because her window's right next to the door. So she's not answering. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. So I tell the kids to get back in the car. So the kids get back in the car. So I didn't have to call in because I ain't got nobody to watch the kids. So we pull up back at the house. So I keep calling her. She's not answering. So I call my brother. I'm like, you talk to mama?
She was gonna leave
He
the
was
kids
like, no, I ain't talked to her. I talked to her yesterday. She couldn't find her keys. I'm like, okay, that's weird. I said, yeah, she called me too. I missed the phone call. So I was like, he was like, you think she went over her boyfriend? So I was like, no, because her car's outside. Because her car was outside. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, no. I was like, I don't think so, because he ain't got no car. So how you gonna come get her? So I was like, okay, that's cool, because my brother was at work. So I got off phone with him. I'm still trying to, you know, see where she is. So I ended up tracking her phone because I got all her passwords and everything for her phone because I set her phone up. So I track it. The phone says she's at home. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. Her car's at home and she's at home. So then I was like, man, where the fuck is my mama at? So I starting to get worried. So I called 911. I'm like, okay, I don't know where my mama is. I said, she's not answering the phone.
Her car in the
driveway.
driveway.
The phone says her phone's tracking to her house and her car's at home.
Period.
And then I said, I know her and my brother got into it last night. Not too bad, but he got a mental problem and he had an attitude with her over a post. And then she was like, I was like, y'all can either meet me over there or y'all don't, but I'm just informing y'all because I'm about to pull up over there and go in the house. So they was like, we'll have a dispatch go over there, you know, police go over there. So then my daddy ended up calling me because I guess my brother called him. He was like, you about to go over your mama's house? I was like, yep. He was like, all right, I'll meet you over there. I'm about to pull up over there. Because my daddy lived down the street from my mama. So I pull up over my mama's house, me and the kids. They in the back seat. I told them to sit in the car. I get out. I'm trying to open up the windows because I don't got my key, because the week before she asked to use my key because she got locked out of the house. So I'm trying to open up the windows. Couldn't open up the windows. My daddy ended up pull up. He trying to get in, couldn't get in. So we go around the back because she got a sunroom. We going in. I said, Daddy, the door's probably locked. My daddy go to the door, door's right open. I'm like, okay, that's weird. So we go in. We go in, there go to the kitchen. So when you go in, there go to the kitchen. So I'm like, Mama. Daddy's like, Tracy. So we go in, going through. I go to the living room. In the living room, I go a chair with stuff stacked on top of it and the couch pushed up to the door. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's weird. So I'm like, okay, I paused and looked at that, but my daddy's going towards my brother's room. He skipped my mama's room because their rooms is right by each other like this. So he goes in my brother's room, and then I go in my mama's room. And I'm like, Mama. And her bed's made up. I'm like, Mama. And there's 2 specks of blood on the... Oh, Lord. Bear with me, y'all.
Oh, Lord, is right.
Specks of blood on the it's 2 specks of blood on the cover, and I pulls it back, and when I pull it back, my mama's covered in blood's everywhere, all over the curtains, all over the walls, all over the place. And I passed out. My daddy grabbed me, pulling me out the room. Some way I breaks out of my daddy's hands. And I'm telling y'all just how it happened. I breaks out of my daddy's hand. I runs out the house. I takes my jacket off and run down the street. Because remember, my mama lived on the main street. I run down the street and I'm screaming. I am terrified. I just lost my mama. I know she's dead. So much blood in her, she's not moving or nothing, and I fainted. I just knew it. The way she was, it didn't even look like her. Tune back in for part 3 of how my brother went crazy and killed our mama.
Shit. God damn. I knew by the title that it was going to be crazy, right? We all knew by the title it was going to be crazy. I did not expect no kiki moment in this. I didn't expect no laughter in this situation. I didn't expect, obviously, nothing positive out of the situation. I also didn't expect for me to get teary-eyed like this, but again, we don't know if it's drugs or if he's schizophrenic or whatever, okay? I don't even know. I'm not even going to act like I'm not even going to pretend like I do. I don't know if drugs can turn you into a schizophrenic person or whatever, okay, right? But whatever it was so powerful over his mental that he took his mama. It took over him. It had so much control that he took his fucking mama, bro. And she says her mom wasn't even recognizable. So what did he do? Did he go in there and just like beat her to death, slice her up? And then once he finished, he neatly made the bed on top of her. We don't know if he's in his room in this house or if he's gone. I guess we'll figure this out in part 4.
Okay, this is part 4 of how my brother went crazy and killed our mom. So after I found her, I ran down the street and
I know she needed a break after that. Y'all see, this is the next day. It's shining outside. Well, it ain't necessarily shining, but it's bright outside. And it was nighttime on the last video. I'm pretty sure she definitely just, because I need time. I'm going to finish this video, y'all. But when I tell you, I know she needed time because I need time. This ain't my mama, my brother, or nothing. That's fucking true.
And I had, my dad had came out trying to help me. And the kids are still in the car, too. And so they don't know what's going on. I'm just lost for words because I just found my mama dead and filled up with blood. So the police and the ambulance is there. They end up going inside and, trying to see what they can do when they went in there. And they come back out, and I'm like, she's dead. And they was like, well, we can't say if she is or not. Okay. And I was like, I already know she's dead because, you didn't come out with her on the stretcher. So it's common sense. If you didn't come out with her on a stretcher, then she's dead. And I was just lost for words. And it was pouring down, raining. When I say pouring. And when I ended up calling my brother, my family, everybody, aunties, I didn't call them, but my daddy did, and everybody got the word. I called my brother and told him. I broke down I didn't even know how to tell my brother. Like, it was horrible. And everybody ended up showing up, and like I said, my mama lived on that main street, so traffic was just at a standstill because everybody was just so shocked because my mama was very known. Like, my mama was a traffic guard in the city. She worked for the police department, so she was a traffic guard, and she also was traffic guard for schools and stuff, so she knew so many people in the city, not to mention that she was just known in the city. She was very, very known. So like people slowing down, they stopping, it was so many people at her house. And even the reverend came, for our church. He ended up coming. I don't even know how he got the word. The word traveled quick. And, police came, and they was like, do you know who did it? And this is homicide ended up coming. And I was like, yeah, it was my brother. And he was like, how do you know it was your brother? And I'm like,
who
because
else?
her car is gone now. Remember I said her car was there, and now her car was gone when I ended up coming back. So I don't know if he was still in the house or not.
That's why the door was unlocked.
Her car was gone.
He just ran out the house.
Ended up coming back. So I'm like, I know it was him. It had to be him. Her car's gone. It was here first, now it's gone. And then he's the only one to live here with her. It has to be him. So they okay, so we're gonna put an alert out on for her car. And they was asking me the model and the make and the description of the car and what my brother looked like and everything. And I had told them, so they put an alert out for him. And then, all the police officers, they knew my mama. Because, like I said, my mama worked for the police department. So it was one of theirs. They just died. So all the police officers and homicide, everybody that came, they was giving their condolences because they knew my mama. So they was hurt too. So, they went in there and they was like, yeah, your mom, they finally announced that she was dead or whatever. And I was like, well, I had already known. And, I was devastated, lost for words. And it's pouring down. And it was like, you all can leave if you want. I'm like, no, I'm not leaving. I'll wait until I see y'all. I wanted to see my mama leave the house. I did. I wanted to stay. And I stayed. My whole family stayed. We stayed in the rain. And we waited, they had to wait, for the people. I forgot the name of the people that come to check the body and stuff. And they had to wait for them to come. And not hospice. You know what I mean. But they end up having to come, and then they check her, and so they can name what was the cause of death and stuff. And then, they was saying, she had her last vows and stuff. They had to wait for all that and stuff. And they end up was telling it took a long time. They had to do search the house and all the other stuff. It took hours and hours, and we waited outside. And they end up while we was waiting, they end up telling us they end up finding my brother downtown.
They I thought you about to say downstairs.
Because my mama had, this was right before Christmas. So my mama already had all her Christmas stuff. She even had her Christmas tree up. She already had all her presents underneath the Christmas tree for everybody. And she had gifts in her trunk, too, for her grandkids. So somebody had said they seen him at the store, and he was trying to sell some of the kids' gifts in the trunk. Because my mama had... I know she had got one of my son's scooter for Christmas, and he was trying to sell this scooter for gas money because he didn't have any gas money. And he took and went to another store, and I guess he ended up selling it, and he ended up getting some I guess he ended up getting some gas. So then they ended up catching him at the Taco Bell down the street, and they called him, and one of the workers had said they thought that it was a woman in the car because they thought that the person had a wig on. They could have swore that the person in the car had a wig on, but when he got out the car, he didn't have the wig on. So I'm like, what was he trying to act like my mama in the car? Like, didn't even make sense. So they ended up getting him and locking him up, and he's saying that he didn't do it. So, like, okay, that was that. And then, so we still waiting at the house and waiting for him to bring her out. They end up bringing her out on a stretcher, and I just lost it. When I say I lost it, it was just devastating because, like, this is my world. Right. My mama's, like, my best friend. Like, when I say my best friend, I talk to this woman every day. Like, there was no day I wouldn't talk to my mama. Like, we talk about everything. Like, when I grew up, like, I was a teenager. I didn't like my mama. I used to bump heads with my mama. When I got grown,
best friend.
We was like this. We even went out together. We went to the clubs together. We went to bingo together. We went everywhere. Like, it's just like, that was my last. Who would have known that day before was my last day seeing my mama? But at least I got to see her. And I kind of wish that, I could have helped and prevented something, like, because that was the reason why she was calling for the keys. She was calling for the keys because she was trying to, lock her door. And she probably locked her door, and he unlocked it with the keys. He took her keys and unlocked it and came in there and killed her. And, I was just devastated with, my mama's gone, and they told us that, don't nobody come clean the house. We had to book somebody to clean the house. And I don't know why my daddy went in there. My daddy went in there, y'all, and cleaned my mama's whole room. Like, cleaned it to the T. I don't know why my daddy did that. Here, we could have booked somebody to clean that room, but my mom and my daddy was really close.
He felt like that was something he needed to do.
And he cleaned that room.
He needed to do that for himself.
Never cleaned that room because that scarred him. It really did. It, like, messed him up, like, in the head when he did it, because it was so much blood everywhere. And
it probably did mess him up, but in that moment, that was something that he needed to do. For whatever reason. It was some type of obligation he felt like he needed to take up on himself. Maybe he did it for her. Well, obviously he did it for her, but it could have been some connection that we don't know about. Some type of thing he felt like he needed to do in honor of her. He felt like that should have been his job, and maybe he is scarred from it now, but that was something that he needed to do. Like me, for example, my mom passed away, and it was time to, come view her body. Every time somebody left from looking at my mama, they go up there, and, people get touchy, people, all of that. And every time somebody left, left from up on the stage, whatever, where her casket was, every time somebody left, I went up there and I refixed her bang. Mama wore a badass feather bang. You hear what I'm saying? Feather bang used to be popping. And when she first got everything done, the lady came and did her hair, but they didn't give her the feather bang. And I called her up like, my mama need her feather bang. And she came and did it for me, but that's neither here or there. But I went back up there and I fixed her feather bang. If it fell a little bit, or if somebody might have touched it, or might have moved it out the way, or might have moved it more in her face, whatever the case may be, I went and fixed her bang. I let people have a moment, okay? And I went up there and I fixed my mama's bang. Her glove, I actually put my mama's gloves on her. I fixed her gloves, made sure her gloves was up, snug, tight to her fingers. I made sure that her hands was crossed the way I crossed them after I put her gloves on. I made sure her shirt was pulled down. I made sure her bracelet was upright. I made sure that her shirt was where it was supposed to be, up on her neck. I made sure the rest of her hair fell this way, right? Every time somebody left from up there with all the touchy-feely, crying and emotions, I let them have their moment, and I went up there and I got my mama back straight. I got my mama back straight. And in those moments, no, I was not crying. I think I was just in action mode. I was just in go mode. So yes, I had my moment. I had my moment, everything settled in, but I was there every step of the way. I seen my mama when they got her from the hospital and took her to the mortuary. I seen my mama without her actual fit on. You know what I'm saying? Without, before she had her outfit, I seen her, my mama had braids in her hair. So I hired somebody to take her braids out and do her hair with the feather bang. I seen her in all stages. And then I seen her when she was finished. Like I said, I placed the gloves. I didn't get her like nails or anything. She didn't have her nails done, so we put her gloves on. We decided to do gloves. When I say we, that's me, my wife, and then her 2 friends that went out and got her outfit. And we decided to do gloves. I put the gloves on her and I placed her hand a certain way. And I felt like that was my obligation, was to make sure my mama was straight. And to this day, I took pictures of my mama in the casket, right? But to this day, I can still kind of feel it. And it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good at all. The actions that I took when I was fixing my mama does not feel good today. And those pictures that I took of her in a casket, I never visit them. I actually took the pictures for if at any moment my little sister, when she becomes of age, because me and her dad both agreed that at her age, we don't want her to see her mom like that. But of age, if at any moment she says, I need to see, or I don't believe, or I need proof, or I would have it. But even myself, I can't even see my mama in the casket today. I wouldn't dare pull up those pictures in my email. I don't celebrate her death date. I don't look at pictures of her in the casket. I don't open up her obituary. And so I relate this to her dad. He's probably traumatized and triggered by that whole situation of cleaning up that room. But it was something about it that he felt like it was his obligation to get that room right. And if he's ever taken back to that time or that place, I can guarantee you it don't feel good to him. He's probably not okay with it. He probably can't even talk about the day. He probably can't even talk about cleaning up all the blood or, whatever he had to clean up. But it was something about it that he felt like he needed to do. And I can understand that. And it probably haunts him to this day, because me straightening up my mama kind of haunts me to this day. But it was something that I felt like I needed to do. It was my duty. My hands was all over that body that day because I had to make sure that my mama was straight.
He cleaned that room up, and I don't know how he did that. Like, cause she got killed on her bed, on her mattress, and it was just horrible. Like, I was scared to even come back in her room. I mean, in her house, to even clean the house up, to like take everything out the house. It took me a while to come back in. I had to wait like a few weeks to go back in there. Y'all come back for part 5 of why my brother went crazy, how my brother went crazy and killed our mom.
I just paused it and gave a whole testimony, so I ain't got too much more to say. We're gonna go and jump straight into part 5.
Okay, this is part 5 of how my brother went crazy and killed our mom. So my dad had went in there and cleaned up all the blood in the house. I don't know why he went in there and cleaned up all that blood, because we literally could have booked somebody to clean all that blood up, because homicide had told us, they told us that they didn't have anybody to clean the house for us, that we had to do it ourselves. And my daddy, him and my mom was really, really close, so I felt like he felt like it was his duty to do that, which after he did that, you could tell that it affected his mental, and I wish he wouldn't have never did that, but he did it. And then so after that, the next day, it was so overwhelming. Like, had so many people reaching out, and I appreciate everybody that reached out to me, but it was just like so overwhelming because I just lost my mama.
Right.
And I
You
really
just want
didn't
that
know
space.
what to do. Like, it was just so much. Like, people was bringing food over, people was bringing, sending their condolence, reaching out, calling me, and at this point I just was numb. I didn't know what to do. Like, I was lost for words. Like, I literally lost my best friend. I was so lost for words, because I could couldn't believe it. I kind of felt like it was a dream. Like, my brother really killed our mama. This is my blood brother. This is our mama. I couldn't believe I lost my best friend. I didn't know how life was going to work again. Like, how was I going to cope with life? Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I couldn't even be a mom at the moment for my kids. Like, cause I was lost. Like, I wanted to take my life. I wanted to be with my mama. I really did. And I'm gonna be honest, like, depression really hit the fan for me. And it was really bad. And, it got very bad for me because I was still trying to maintain life, for me and my kids. But it was hard. And, the detective had reached out to us and said that, they're trying to do the rapid tests for the DNA because they went ahead and did DNA for my mom, because, she was like one of theirs. Like, I remember I told you she worked for the police department. So they did a rapid test. They was 10 toes down on trying to find out if this was my brother that killed my mama, and they really was very helpful. Really, they was. And they told me that they did a DNA test underneath my mama's nails because her nails was broken up. Like, I guess from her putting up a fight, trying to fight for her life, all her nails was broken because she had just got her nails done. And they put a DNA test on his clothes because they found his clothes in the basement. I guess he tried to wash his clothes. They found the murder weapon in the backyard because remember it was raining, so he was able to dig a hole and try to hide one of the murder weapons. And then they found another murder weapon down in the basement as well, in the little where the little sewage port in the basement. They found it there. I can't tell you exactly what the weapons was because we're still going for trial. But they also did the DNA test for that, and they told us that it takes 48 hours. So after 48 hours, they got back with us, and they let us know that their DNA came back as my brother being the one that murdered my mama, because the DNA went, it was his DNA underneath her nails and stuff. And her DNA was on, her blood was on his clothes and on the murder weapon and everything. So, and her DNA, was on him as well. So he went to arraignment, and arraignment with court was on the news as well, because the news people was like, they was on it. They was reaching out to us trying to get a story and everything. They was reaching out to me constantly, and they had cast it on the news, the arraignment, and he had said that he didn't kill her, which we know that you did kill her. And it was very hard. Like, I didn't know what to do anymore. Like, I was lost. I really was, because trying to figure out how you're going to go day-to-day life without your mama, someone that's very important in your life, is hard. Like, even to this day, it's still hard, like, for me. But I had to get it together so I can plan her funeral. So me and my brother got together, and my family as well. We went to the funeral home. And it's raining while she's telling this story. So we can plan her funeral. And we had to pick out her casket and everything. And my mama had also told me how she wanted her funeral as well. She wasn't scared to talk about death. She let me know what she wanted, what color she wanted. My mama had a very good life insurance. She had life insurance put aside for her funeral and for her kids as well. So I was able to take care of everything for that, and, get her buried the way that, she wanted to. And I had also booked the makeup artist for her, because I didn't want her to have the ordinary funeral home makeup look.
Yes, everything custom.
I didn't want that. So
yeah, my mama had a makeup artist, hair, all that. We ain't doing that mortuary crap. No, and, that's dead.
I booked the makeup artist for her, and the makeup artist went out and tried to do her makeup. And the makeup artist reached out to me and was like, I'm so sorry for everything that happened to you. She was like, I tried my hardest to make your mom look good. I tried my best. I didn't want to mess up her face as much. So I went ahead and did the best that I could. And she kept apologizing. And then she said, I tried my best. So I'm like, okay, I didn't see my mom yet. I was going to see her the day before the funeral. The wake. So, because we had a wake and a funeral. So, the next day, I went to see her.
She didn't know what she looked like.
And when I went to see her, we had to make a decision, me and my family. if we was going to have an open casket or a closed casket. And when I tell you, when I seen my mama, that did not look like my mama. I cried my heart out. My little tears couldn't stop. Because I couldn't believe that that was my mama in that casket. The way he did my mama, it didn't even look like
Just
her. Like,
foul.
they had to mold her face back together. Like, the way they had to mold her face back together, it was just ridiculous. Like, it was horrible. Like, her head, everything, like, was molded back together. And the makeup artist, shout out to her, because she really tried her hardest. But it didn't help anything. It really didn't. And my mama looked beautiful. It's my mama. But it was hard because we had to make the decision to have a closed casket. And I made everybody leave out the room when we made that decision. And I wanted to be in the funeral room by myself and my mama. And I talked to my mama. I told her I love her so much and I'm so sorry for what happened to her. I apologize. And I told her at the end of the day, you're still my mama. I'm sorry that I can't recognize you right now, but I love you to the fullest. And I love her so much. I miss her so much. And I couldn't believe that she had to fight for her life from her own son. And it was so hurtful to see my mama look like it. Yeah. It was, y'all. It didn't look like her. And we finally made that decision. We had to have a closed casket. We did. So after that, we made our decision to have a closed casket. And I had made a wig for her and everything. I wanted her to look so beautiful. I wanted to do her hair. I made a wig for her and everything. I did the makeup artist, everything. I did so much. Her outfit, everything was so important. For us to have to do a closed casket.
Yeah.
Y'all, come back for part 6 of how my brother went crazy and killed our mom.
Yeah, it's crazy. When I didn't think that I would ever have to be in that position. I just didn't. We all know that, the way of life, your parents are supposed to go before you. Your grandparents are supposed to go before them. So I guess at some point I would have been put in that position. But I guess I didn't think it would be that soon. And it's hard. It's hard making those type of decisions. Open casket, closed casket, cremation, burial. Especially if a person doesn't have everything laid out. But then it's like when they do have everything laid out, but their death is not what was expected, like in that type of way. Like, I guess everyone probably expects to just go in they sleep, like just peaceful and just go in they sleep. If that's even peaceful, because who's to say that that's really even peaceful to go in your sleep, but just in a calm manner, a calm state. But when your life is taken from you and they have to like mold your face back together, the plans that you laid out can't even be executed because of the evil spirits that did whatever they did to you. Just makes it difficult. That's crazy. I understand 100% where she coming from. It's whew. Let's go ahead and get into part 6.
Okay, this is part 6 of how my brother went crazy and killed our mom. So after we decided that we had to have a closed casket, we ended up getting everything together so we can get the wake. And that was like a lot for me, like trying to figure out everything for that. And shout out to everybody that literally helped me and my family through this situation, like the donations and everything. Like, I even had someone like from the carriages with the horses. The lady gave us that for free. Like, my mama was very, very important in this county, like Jefferson County. Like, she was very good person. She knew a lot of people. She knew so many people, like, and I didn't know she knew that many people until she died. And just the amount of people that like looked out, like, homegirl of mine, she even paid for the where we had the reception, the hall for that. Like, that was just so nice. People looked out for the food, all that was just so considerate to even help that, because like I really was just lost at the moment, because I had a million and one things going through my
Having help
head,
is
and still
important.
trying to plan this funeral was just the worst. Like, it was a lot. And I was still trying to maintain being a mother at the same time. And we had this wake. We had the wake. All my family and stuff was there, and we got there, and we trying to have everything in order. Because I had to end up getting a big printout of my mama. Since we was going to have a closed casket, I had to get a big printout picture of my mama and put it on the easel. So all these people's coming thinking they about to, say their farewells to my mama. When they get in there, they are upset. Because they like, wait a minute, why is the casket closed? But we never told anybody why is the casket closed. We just let it be.
The
Wasn't
thing
nobody's
about the
business.
casket being closed, though, it's nobody's business on why it's closed or why it's not closed. Nobody is obligated to have a reason on why the casket was closed or not closed. If your mom had a viewing or if she didn't have a viewing, those were the decisions that you made as the person she left in charge, or as her daughter. Between you and your brother, you guys made those decisions. Open casket, closed casket, a viewing, not a viewing, a picture on an easel, whatever. So those people that came in feeling entitled to see a body at your mother's funeral is full of shit. They ain't shit. And I'll be the first to say it, and no disrespect, but disrespectfully, you ain't shit. If you walked into this funeral and got an attitude because the casket was closed, you don't respect that lady nor her children or their decisions anyway. You should have stayed your ass at home. And something that I feel like people need to stop doing is looking for a goddamn circus show. It's not entertainment purposes. The casket is not open for entertainment purposes. The casket is not open for you to fall all out and cry and create this big old scene. The casket is not here for that. The casket is not open for that. The casket is not closed for that. We have a lot of pressure putting on these homegoing services just for people who did not put in a suggestion, a nickel, a dime, a donation, a hug, love, positivity, peace. How about that? They didn't even put peace into the situation. And they're the main ones that have an attitude or want to throw a hissy fit off of a decision that a person that just lost their parent had to make. I will never, ever respect a motherfucker who can be that fucking entitled that they disrespect and can't find a piece of fucking empathy. How about that? They can't even be partially empathetic to a motherfucker that just laid their parent to rest. Y'all gotta stop wanting to go to these homegoing services for a shit show. Y'all gotta show up to the service knowing that you are here to celebrate the life of someone. You are not here to see what that person had on in the casket. You are not here to see how that person's hair was laid. You are not here to see how that person's makeup was done. You are not here to lay your hands on that person and cry and fall out and say you want to get in a casket with them. You are not here to take fucking photos of them. You are here to celebrate their life. Let's just do that. Can we normalize that? And I'm sorry, I may be putting a little bit of my personal, into this lady's situation, but I see where she's coming from. She said people walked into her mother's funeral upset that the damn casket wasn't open. How about you write out your eulogy? And then when you die, you make sure your casket is open. You make sure the person you put in charge leaves your casket open. That's the only casket you should be worried about being open is yours. I'm done with it. I'm going to let it go. Y'all know I can rant about this thing. If y'all been here on King's Corner, y'all already know where I'm going with it. You know what I'm saying? If you've been rocking with me, you already know where I'm going with it. You know I can go on and on and on and on and on. But I pray that this girl, if she has not already found peace, that she finds it, and she don't let the demons that showed up to her mother's homegoing service for a shit show to affect her life. I pray that over her.
And, you know, a lot of people came there to meddle too. When I tell you, there was a line outside for my mama, to see my mama. It was a line to get into the door to see her. And that line stayed steady. It was packed. It was so packed. It was 2 books filled up. You know how you sign when you go to somebody's wake to, you know, your little signature, you know, that you was here. I have 2 books filled up. That's how many people it was. And I was so grateful for all them people to come and show love to my mama. Half of them people I didn't even know. But, hey, I was just grateful to see the love for my mama. And as the day is going on, somebody come up to me and was like, his baby mama, sir, with the kids. Well, not the kids. She was pregnant, but with her daughter and her. Okay, I'm fine with my niece. My niece is my niece. It is what it is. But that baby mama, I don't know. Because, like, I'm like, well, we was like, we kind of, I ain't gonna stunt, kind of thought that she had something to do with it too, because like after a while I felt like you knew something but that you didn't tell us. Like I felt like that was stuck in my heart and everybody else's in the family as well.
I wonder why.
She came there. Don't know why you came there, because you and my mama had bumped heads very bad, and like, you know, it wasn't good terms. And I kind of felt like my brother sent her there. Because, like, her mama came as well. And her mama could have brought my niece. Not saying that she can't come to the funeral or the wake or whatever. But I just, you wasn't welcome. That's the truth. You wasn't welcome there. Didn't nobody want you there. My niece was very welcome. She was. I don't care. Like, what my brother did is what he did. I'm never going to put that on the kids. They don't have nothing to do with it at all. And I love my niece to death. And his other kids as well. And she came. And I guess she felt the bad energy. But I felt like he sent her to come to try to see what the damage that he did. And she came and she left. Like she was in and out. That's what made me feel like you came to see what did he do? What was the damage that he did? And after that, the funeral was over. We had our, you know, the little ate after and all that. And then we had the funeral next. And at the funeral, it was kind of hard because we was trying to figure out like how we was gonna, you know, go through this day, because this is our last day seeing, you know, our mama or whatever, even though we didn't get to see her because the castle was closed. So couldn't nobody talk at the funeral. And then I was the only one that could talk at the funeral. So I was strong enough. I don't even know how I had the courage to even get up and talk, but I did. And I was able to get up there and talk. And I said some words that I didn't even believe that I even said. And I even said, I know my mom, one of the words I remember to this day, I said, I know my mama's body is dead and gone, but her spirit stays alive. And I know she's always with me. And I stick to that to this day. I believe that. My mama is always with me. Her spirit never died. And I always feel her. Because I always have, you know, good luck all the time. Because I know she's always around. She always look out for me. Like she was when she was here. So we had the love funeral. We had the reception. And then we had that. And it was that. And then a few days later, we get a phone call. And they had to release him because I don't remember why they had to release him. Okay, go back. Okay, I do remember.
Hold on now.
They had to. This is before the test, the rapid test came out. they had to release him. When they had released him, they had to release him because they didn't have the DNA yet. And when they released him, they couldn't find him. They didn't know where he was at. He went hiding. When I say he went hiding, they couldn't find him nowhere. And it got to the point to where, like if somebody finds you out on this street, you know, I ain't saying too much on her, but you know. And couldn't nobody find him nowhere. They even had a manhunt for him because after a while the test came back and they needed to lock him up. And they ended up finding him because a lady had called and said there was a suspicious man walking around the neighborhood. And this was like in a suburb neighborhood, like a neighborhood that everybody knows, neighborhood watch neighborhood. And she called and reported him. And when they found him and they picked him up. And then that's when they ended up keeping him. That's how, all that happened.
Okay, he
Forgot
got back.
to mention that. It kind of slipped my mind.
That's okay.
But,
that's okay.
like, that happened with that. And after that, we was like, what do we do next? And Christmas haven't even had came yet. And my mama, we still never went in her house to clean up her house yet or nothing. So we had went and got the presents, all that stuff. And, she had presents with everybody's name on it. And she also had a gift for my niece. I mean, not my niece, her niece. Which was my cousin. Remember I said that we were supposed to decorate the party for her? She had a gift for her, which was so nice. My cousin said she was going to cherish that gift because that was so nice. She had gifts for everybody. And then we ended up cleaning the house up. And when I went into my brother's room, oh my goodness, I found this Bible. Remember I told you it was bad spirits around that room? I found the Bible upside down words. Y'all, come back for part 7 of how my brother went crazy and killed our mom.
Girl.
Okay,
and y'all probably like, what? I'm doing all of this right now because part 6 was the last part that she uploaded. It was 22 hours as of right now. Let me refresh. Before I go, let me just refresh. One good time. She has not uploaded since. She has not uploaded, so we got to wait. We just got to wait and see. Now, I know it's going to get a little crazy. So, hopefully she upload parts, like 3 or 4 parts at one time. Because I know it's going to get crazy. What y'all think about it? I know I went on my little rant, so I ain't going to hold y'all too long. We been here. I didn't even think she was going to leave us on that type of cliffhanger like that. I didn't even know that we was on that type of time. Solo Dolo, her name's SOLODOLOFANCY on TikTok. Solo Dolo, I didn't even think you were going to just leave us hanging like that. I thought you were just going to go on and on and on, but then now I see. That's how you rocking? That's how you rocking? All right. We going to wait on her, though. Hopefully she's able to release the rest of the story because, as you heard, there's still, I guess, ongoing investigation or trial or something. And so hopefully she ain't have to pump her brakes right there because we're invested. I think it's safe to say we're invested. Y'all comment down below if y'all made it to this part of the video, all right? I'm going to keep a close eye out on her page. If y'all want to go follow her on TikTok and let me know if it's up, if I missed it or if I'm asleep when she posted or something, I wake up and I can see that you hit me up on Instagram or DM'd the actual video to me on TikTok, y'all can do so. Her name is SOLODOLOFANCY, just like that. Whew. Y'all, look. If you like videos like this and you want to see more is to come. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, because right now, King Day is out. Peace. The motherfucking building.
Run it up was up. Your bitch gon' not know when was up. Run that shit, we had all the show. Say that shit for your camera roll.